Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cedar Lake Zoo. We are back in the Sumatran rainforest briefly because I hated how the orangutan exhibit looked, so I rebuilt it. Using some blueprints from Just Goron and Wyatt Andrews' workshop, I put together something I like a lot more. It's themed after like a reclaimed logging camp. So like all these destroyed construction vehicles and timber everywhere. It's kind of supposed to be like a area that's been reclaimed by the jungle a little bit. I like how it looks so far, and I hope that you guys do too. And if we come around over here, there's actually another view into it that I think is maybe not as good as that view before, but still a pretty good one. Got a couple orangutans in here and then a couple siamangs, and they should be able to brachiate on that, but they don't really do that all that much. But yeah, I really love how like the timber turned out, and they actually are able to get around the exhibit a lot better than I expected. But the real reason that I'm here today is to share with you another one of my Asian sections, this one being the Himalayan Passage. So after you're done with the Sumatran rainforest over here, you come in, and this area is inspired highly by Omaha's Asian Highlands, but also the Louisville Zoo's Snow Leopard Pass and Tiger Taiga. So you come in and you've got some prayer flags right here looking real nice. And the first thing you've got is a little aviary for Himalayan monal and red-billed blue magpie. I've never seen monal in real life before, but I've seen red-billed blue magpie, and they're one of my favorite species of bird. It's one of the things that makes me wish that we had moving birds in here because they just fly around so fast. It's really fascinating to watch them. And then I used a lot of Nepalese like blueprints I found on the workshop just because I wanted to take my time more on the habitats, but I did build this up here and then added some ivy and boards to it. This is where I'd put my palace cat if I had one. Right now we don't have a mod for it, and I think some modders are holding off because we don't know if Frontier is going to give one to us with the last animal pack imminent. But I would really love to see them just hopping around in here, and like if they probably wouldn't be able to fit here in the game, but just hiding in this little crevice. But trying to give this kind of a run-down feel, like an abandoned village, because we've also got this broken down train car. I forget where this comes from, but I love how this looks so much. Because we're coming up right now on our snow leopard exhibit. So this one is kind of a mix between Omaha's exhibit and Louisville's. So we come up this way. I really love how these walls turned out. And typically you don't see the snow leopards come up here, which is kind of a shame because this is a nice view. But when we go down, we'll probably see them. There's one. ADA accessible as it needs to be a successful zoo. So there's one of our snow leopards. Oh, it's paused? Why did that happen? No, it wasn't paused. They were just standing there. Sometimes the animals in this game are weird. I love Gaboy's remaster of the snow leopards. All of the Big Cat remasters are just so good. So got this area down here that's supposed to be kind of like this edge of the mountains vibe, using some of the temple blocks for simulating kind of more random rocks, if you will. But I love how this exhibit turned out. I've kind of had multiple iterations on this same exhibit over time, and finally have one that I think I'm going to stick with. So we've got a little seating area with the Dancing Crane Cafe. I found this lovely little cafe on the workshop that I kind of themed up a bit. I I think it might be from Christina, maybe Haribo. I can't remember exactly, but in that kind of realm of Bronation. And, you know, all sorts of different zoos have a dancing crane cafe, so I thought it'd be a cute nod to other zoos to do that. And then while you are getting your coffee or whatever, you can see these Saurus cranes. I love Saurus cranes. I kind of prefer them to red crown cranes. I think mostly because I've seen these more at like St. Louis Zoo and stuff like that. But we've got this nice little exhibit for them here, kind of by a old abandoned mill or something like that. And then we get into the main event of the Himalayan Passage. Sadly, we will not be taking the train today because I am not done with it in the slightest, but this is going to be like a Asian safari type thing. And over here is the big one. Let's see if we can see him right here. Nope, not yet. Well, I'm probably spoiling it in the thumbnail, but this is for our giant pandas. There they are. There's kind of a long story about giant pandas and this zoo, because in my ongoing lore for this zoo that I started with ZSU, there's a lot of stuff going on that Jack Hawthorne, the guy who the zoo's named after and who owns it, at one point, he tried to smuggle golden snub-nosed monkeys out of China during the 90s and got him a semi-permanent ban from the country of China and made sure he probably would never get pandas. But after this long redemption tour type thing and setting up some new conservation center in China, he finally secured some forgiveness and some pandas. This is purely fantastical. Like, I don't expect that any of this would happen in real life. He would probably have been killed if he tried to do that with the monkeys. But it's just kind of a funny part of how I've gone too far in some places with my lore. I have documents and documents and documents of stuff on this zoo and on its creator. But got these pandas here, and I love how this exhibit's turned out. I wanted to do something kind of different from the panda exhibits that you see at like National and Atlanta and San Diego and stuff like that. I wanted to give kind of a lower viewing rather than just the top down that you usually get or the straight on. Over here, I pulled this from the workshop, but I think it fits in nicely. I don't really pay too much attention to my bathrooms except for the fact that I know I need to have them in my zoo. This is probably my favorite view of the panda habitat, and thank goodness that they're showing off right here. They kind of like to hide, of course, but I love the little shaded area, but still the sunshine on the pandas. Over in this little corner here with a nice view of the Sumatra Dome, we've got a little tufted deer exhibit, a little meadow here for them. I love this species and thought, you know, it'd be a nice thing to just kind of put in because a lot of these other animals are a little bigger. I'm probably going to be doing some updates to the Sumatra Dome because I think it kind of is starting to show some age on the inside for my building skills. But we'll see. Now, before you go oohing and ahhing at this is also from the workshop. But I really love how these pagodas look and kind of frame out the interior viewing for the pandas. It's just so detailed and good and probably tanking my frame rate. But this is the last view outside that you get of the panda exhibit, and you've got some set dressing for the train in the background there too. I really love how this exhibit turned out. I had a lot of trial and error and finally got something that I like. But around this whole area, you'll see a lot of rock formations that look like this, that are based off of particular valley in China that just has these breathtaking limestone cliffs. It's kind of the area that you would find like Francois Langers in the wild. I just butchered how to say that, but I don't care. But I thought that that would be a really cool way to kind of frame the exhibit, give it some additional theming and storytelling there. And here we've got our indoor views. From what I've heard, the Chinese government can kind of be particular about how panda exhibits looked. And so for the inside viewing, I wanted to make it much more like you would see commonly in a zoo. Where one of the main things is just having these painted mural backgrounds. It's like apparently a thing at all of the major zoos that have pandas. You see something like this. This is using the taxidermy mod, still in its beta phase, but I wanted to have a panda using the hammock because sadly they only allow the sun bear to use the hammock. Maybe the clouded leopard, I can't remember. But it's just such a perfect thing for the animals that I had to try to figure out how to do that. And this is about as good as it gets in terms of making this work. So after we're done inside the panda house, we come out here and we've got two more exhibits. We've got our Takin exhibit here, based highly off of the Henry Dooley Omaha Zoo's Takin exhibit, because all the best Takin exhibits built in Planet Zoo are based off of that one. And I can't wait to see it. I'm going this next month back to the Omaha Zoo, and I can't wait to see it. And I think that this turned out just really nice to be able to see them from all these different angles as you come down. I'm so happy that we got these in the game. Takins are one of my favorite ungulates. They just look so dumb, but I love them so much. And then finally, we have our red panda exhibit. This would house red panda and Reeves Muntjac, but the Reeves Muntjac mod is currently crashing games, so didn't really want to use that. But got this lovely little Nepalese village in the background and some nice climbing opportunities for the red pandas. I really love how like the dirt looks alongside the path, and how all these prayer flags look. But then the one thing that I love most about this exhibit, and they're probably not going to do it while we're right here, so I'll throw in a clip hopefully, is this little overpass for the red panda. I put their water inside of this building here, so they have to kind of come back and forth. But yeah, this used to be the entrance to the area when I had originally built the red panda exhibit, which I guess technically now it could be the entrance as opposed to the exit. I just planned most of it with the other way being where you come in. But I love this area, and I hope that you guys enjoy it, and that you can take something inspiring from it for your own builds. So until the next time, happy building!